Hi, I'm Whitney, and I'm here to do a reading for the strawberry super full moon in Sagittarius on Tuesday, June 14th. That's a lot of S's. Strawberry, super, Sagittarius, and there's a lot of energy coming along with that. So this full moon being in Sagittarius, we know from the get-go that there's a lot of energy about assertiveness, loyalty, determination related with Sagittarius. And we're coming into that time. We're with many different astrological positions at this time, we're really moving into this period where some of the things that sort of felt unseen and more in our consciousness and things we've been considering, thinking about, are coming into physicality, into actuality. So whether it's something that we're creating or something that we're finally addressing or starting, that's sort of the beginning movements and energies of this time that this full moon kicks off. This moon is going to be a time that opens you up to expand beyond the mind, as I said, beyond the mind, actually bringing things forth, but also connecting with intuition and your higher mind. You're really going to be seeing what's truly possible. There's going to be a releasing of doubts. There's going to be a releasing of the things in our mind that maybe said, we can't do this, or this won't work out. And we're going to say, yes, it can. Again, it's that assertiveness, that determination of Sagittarius. We're also gaining bigger understandings. At this time, the universe really wants you to connect with gaining momentum. It wants you to get that sense of, if I start now, I can really begin to create and produce and move on something. It might be a whole new adventure starting for you. You know, we're going into the summer months, and summer always feels like an opening, an openness. It's warmer, people are out more. We slow down a little bit, and it's often a time where things can kind of begin. There'll also be some ventures you might undertake to connect to your belief system. So again, the things that are kind of going from your conscious into reality now are the things that are truly related to your strongest beliefs and values, the things that you really care about and are concerned about, and are finally ready to again gain movement and start a new adventure around them. You might have a new spark of life at this time. There might be a surprise inspiration and beautiful spark. That's sort of the overall for this moon. And now I want to draw a few cards. I want to see what energies and what messages want to come through for the collective around this time. And keep in mind that the energies of a full moon always pertain to a few days before and after the actual event. So this full moon is on Tuesday, so you might be feeling these over the weekend and into next week. And I'm using my beautiful Mary L. Tarot deck, and I'm going to shuffle and then see what wants to come out. And of course, take what resonates with you, and whatever doesn't might not be your message. And we're going to ask for a reading for the highest good and greatest guidance of all those listening. All right, so let's see. Can we please get some insight and guidance onto what energies might be coming through, what messages want to come through for this full moon in Sagittarius? Oh, hello, King of Swords. Okay, you can come out and play. Super moon, strawberry moon. Okay, let me see if there's any more that wants to come out. I feel like there might be one more. Those are too many. Let's see. There we go. Whoops. Oh, looks like there's two. Ooh. Interesting. Okay. So the three that we have are the King of Swords, the Magician, a little closer, and the Nine of Swords. So I'll go ahead and walk through each of these with you and share the energies that I'm sensing about them. So the first one that came out is the King of Swords. So talk about that Sagittarius energy and that spark of inspiration, that assertiveness, that determination. So the King of Swords is all about being a very noble, but also decisive leader. He is someone who has created his kingdom and now he rules over it and is diplomatic, but also, again, very assertive in the way that he rules. He understands that certain rules need to be adhered to, need to be followed. Certain things need to be into place to make things move forward. So again, this might be this spark, again, something coming from your consciousness into action where you say, you know what, if I really, really do want to make this happen, then these certain things have to occur. I need to take these certain steps. So it's a time where we actually, because also the swords, the suit of swords are very practical. They're very practical. They're about taking actual definitive steps towards something, not just being in a creative state or an emotional state, you're in a decisive state. So the King of Swords is that energy of really, moving forward and being focused on putting action behind this new pursuit, this new adventure, this new thing you're doing. And who do we have next to that? The best person you can have to help you with the new pursuit is the Magician, because the Magician is an alchemist. And he uses his various abilities and gifts. He's a master of all the suits of earth, air, water, and fire, and he combines them all together to utilize his skills and make magic and manifest. The Magician is the great manifester. So it's basically saying you have this power team, hey, you make it very clear. The Magician has a very clear vision of what he's going to do. So he is sort of more in that consciousness realm. He does the alchemy, but he needs you to have that clear vision. So it's like you're doing that, you're creating the clear vision, you're creating your decisiveness. And then once it's brought out into the world, the King of Swords knows how to bring it into implementation. So that's a very powerful team here. But yet what also wants to come out is the Nine of Swords for the energy. So of course, Nine of Swords, and this is actually a really beautiful card. If you look, it has the pyramids and this whole city below it. So what it shows you is this great potential. Look at what's being created. Look at that building. Look at that amazing feat that they've done. But then there's this black crow. Maybe it's a raven that's flying across. So it's the darkness in the light. It's this one ominous thing that's saying, can I do this? Will this work? Even though there's evidence that so much glory can come, there's still a little bit of questioning, because the Nine of Swords is ultimately about anxiety, fears. It's really about mental anguish, just that, those sleepless nights where you're wondering, is this really going to work? So it's just telling you that, any big new pursuit, any new venture, as I mentioned earlier, is going to come with this fear of, will this work out? Is this actually reasonable? Is it feasible? And what these want to tell you is that yes, because not only in the spiritual realms do you have the Magician by your side, but you yourself in the physical world are the King of Swords, and you know how to see this through, and you know how to create the kingdom you want. So there's really big energy about starting something new and allowing for that fear and not letting it scare you away, and knowing that it's a part of any big, bold, new undertaking. But also I'm getting the sense of, even though these are two strong energies and there's going to be fear, is that, this could be, let this unfold like a wave. That's what I just got. Like, this is a wave that's unfolding. Doesn't need to all happen at once. It's going to come forth as it should. But just trust that you have these powers behind you. And these powers cannot be overtaken just by fear in our mind. So I hope that message is helpful for you. I hope that you have a beautiful full moon on the 14th. I hope that you take some time to go out, because it's super important to get out there and soak up that beautiful full moon energy. I always like to go out and dance in the full moon. I take my crystals out. You got to go out and charge them. That's when they really get rejuvenated, recharged. And it's also a time to release a lot. So in order to ever start something new, we have to release the old, let go of a few things. And that might also cause some stress. But know that you got the magician behind you. And he's a pretty powerful guy. All right. Thank you so much for listening. Have a fabulous full moon.